Hello, hello, hello. How is everyone doing tonight? Where did I put my tape? Tape goes there. That goes there. That goes there. There we go. What's the point of having a wall to store everything on if you don't actually store anything on the wall? How's everyone doing today? How's everyone doing today? It's Saturday night. It's Saturday night. Hello from South Africa. Hello from Canada. Every now and then I forget that my intro is now shorter than my old intro. My old intro was like 3 minutes and the new one's like a minute something. And I keep forgetting that it is shorter now and that I need to pay more attention to when it ends so I can come in with the hello, hello, hello. So, yeah. How's everyone doing tonight? It is Saturday night, Sunday morning for some of you folk. I don't think we're past that point in the time zone where somebody's in the past, but I think we're okay there. So, yeah, tonight, there is no plans tonight. I'm waiting on some stuff to come in terms of hardware. I was hoping to do a unboxing of a Trident kit tonight, but it has not arrived yet. Ooh, I forgot my accent light. There we go. It has not come in yet. So, yeah, that kind of kiboshed that. So, for those that don't know, we're going to go through some plans. Tonight, we're just going to hang out. I've got second try at Patrick going on the Enraged Rabbit right now. And it's going along quite well. I've only goofed it up once. So, tonight... I look frazzled. Actually, I am just getting over a cold, so my... we'll see how long my voice lasts. For those that aren't aware or aren't in the loop... how do I say it? I'm horrible at these kind of things in person and whatnot. For those that don't know, if you don't know, Sanjay Mortimer from E3D, I interviewed him a couple weeks ago. He sadly passed away last weekend. So this whole week's been kind of a write-off for a lot of people in the 3D printing community. I was really looking forward to having him on the stream. Obviously, they haven't announced what happened. Please don't, go into that. Family asks for privacy. That's how it is. So yeah, so tonight we're just gonna hang out. We're gonna print some things. We're gonna go over some plans for the rest of the month because there is some things coming up that we're gonna have some fun with. We're gonna have some fun. It's the end of the year, so we'll try and turn it back into a good thing because gotta move on. I'm bad with these. Anyways, let me look back at the camera. Hi, guys. So we got Patrick going. So we're going to print. I might pull the V0 out. We'll print something on that because I actually did print something on that the other day. It hasn't been collecting dust, doing nothing for the past little while. But yeah, so the near future, right now, I'm waiting on a Trident kit to come in. How hard would it be to set a Euclid probe at build in terms of configuration? What the heck's a Euclid probe? So yeah, so tonight, if you guys want me to go on to any topic or look at anything, or we're just gonna do variety stream. We're doing like what the Twitch streamers do. We're just doing variety stream tonight. Not media share though. Patrick tore his pants. Oh, yeah. Okay, this right here. It's failed on me once so far. It's done one fail to feed so far. And instead of telling it to feed the right filament, I accidentally fed the wrong filament. And so that error is my part. That is my bad. So I'll just find a green marker and fix it. It's a clicky probe, but a PCB. Then you would just have to use it as a clicky. You would just set it up like you would a clicky because it's just an end stop at that point, right? I hope I don't sound too bad. I am a little stuffed up tonight. Yeah. Who's doing the the Trident kit is Physek. So I'm waiting on a Physek kit. So that's one thing we got to figure out tonight. We got to figure out what colors we're doing. It's a black framed kit, I believe. I don't know for sure, but it is a Physec kit. It is a Trident. We're going to build it stock, and then I think the Enraged Rabbit is actually going to go on that at some point. That's why I printed the Enraged Rabbit in generic Voron colors, because I probably will be moving it onto the Trident at some point, unless I turn the Trident into an IDEX. I don't know yet. We'll see. So there's that. And then let me pull up a calendar here. Can I pull out the calendar? Can you pull up a full-size calendar in Windows? No, pull up the calendar. I want to see the full calendar. Anyways, if you're looking at your calendars, everyone open up your calendar for December. The plan is right now on the, I believe it's the 27th and the 28th. It's a Monday, Tuesday. Nope. So on the Monday, Tuesday here, okay? So on the Monday and the Tuesday, these 2 days, I'm going to be doing a stream. I'm going to be doing streams on both those days. I'm going to be building a V0. Another one. I don't need another one, but well, wait till I get the kit. But somebody is sending me a kit. It's a pro kit, so it's got a bunch of upgrades. I'll go into that detail one more when it's more fleshed out and I have it in hand. But also, we're going to build it over 2 days. And then on the 30th, okay, which is a Thursday, I believe. Yeah. We are going to do a live stream. I don't know what time exactly and for how long. And it's still, everything here is still subject to change. But we will be giving away the V0. I'm going to raffle it off. Canada, US, Europe. Okay, fully built V0. I'm going to stuff it in a box, put a bunch of foam in there, delete my Wi-Fi password off the Raspberry Pi, and somebody's going to get it, okay? And that stream will be a charity stream with all proceeds. Hopefully, I don't know how they'll have it set up, because I know in YouTube you can set up videos and streams to go to a specific charity. E3D has said they are looking to set up something in Sanjay's name. We'll figure it out when we get to it, but it will all go towards that, okay? So that is what we are going to be doing during that, between Christmas and New Year's, because I have that all off work. So we're going to do some fun stuff, and we're going to give away. Will I do a video when the new Clockwork 2 Stealth Burn and all that? Yes, I will. I would do a video, like the PCB wiring for the LEDs will need a video because it's kind of tricky, but I don't have the LEDs in yet, so I won't be able to do that. So yes, there will be a video on the new Clockwork, obviously, when that all comes out. When that comes out. Let's get some music going. Let's get some Christmas music going. There we go. Am I the only one gobsmacked that you can spend that much just for flexible filament? How much is flexible filament? I have 4 spools that cost $100 per... How are you spending $100 per spool on flexible? I think I spent like... Now granted, the spools aren't full-size spools, but they're not $100 a spool. For some reason, when I slice this, the red that I'm doing right now is actually... I sliced it with the wrong profile, so this is really slow, but luckily I'm almost done with the red. VGV21. $10, thank you, appreciate it. I had a big oopsie. I finished my 2.4 and started firmware. I uploaded Clipper and did it wrong, so I went to try again, and the Spider MC will not take the correct firmware, and I really need advice. What do you mean it won't take the correct firmware? You should be able to re-flash it, no problem. Start over from the beginning, I would recommend.
Nero, I had a big oopsie. I finished my 2.4 and started firmware.
If we were raffling it, it will be whatever hot end it comes with. I don't know for sure what hot end the kit comes with, obviously.
And really need advice.
If I had a Revo, I'd throw a Revo in it, but I do not. I only have the one, and it's the beta unit, and it is in here, and I wouldn't give it away because when I get production units, that is actually going, I'm keeping that beta unit. So, might have borked the bootloader. That's not good. If you broke the bootloader, you're kind of screwed. Hello, Ben. Oh yeah, you might have the wrong bootloader offset. Any news on Revo release? It's probably... I heard rumors of dates, obviously, of when pre-orders might go live and whatnot. But considering recent events, I would expect things to be pushed back a little bit, potentially. I don't know if the actual final release date will be. Like, you know, there's probably still guys at work running the machines, who knows. But expect, like, the pre-orders and whatnot might get pushed back a little bit because of recent events. So, Q1 2022 per E3D Discord moderators. Okay, that makes sense. It would make sense. I know they were aiming for an end of this year, but I guess it would make sense to push it into early next year. Can you talk about multi-material models and their setup? Sure. So right now we're doing multi-material. I'm really hoping this red finishes soon because I sliced it with the... let's pull up my slicer here. So what I accidentally did is I sliced it like this. So it's running with the MMU settings for a completely default, which is slow AF. Ooh. Okay. Did you guys hear that? That stepper motor did not seem happy there for a second. No, they're stone cold. That did not sound... It changed the filament fine. That was weird. It just decided to whine for a minute. That's new. Let's see here. So, loading move done, requested. Okay, so it did a load. See, this is why it's good it has an encoder. As you can see here, it tried to load. Something happened with the motor, and it only loaded 139 millimeters, so it tried again, and it loaded the rest of it. So, yeah. So that's the benefit of having an encoder. It can go, hey, I was supposed to load. I only pushed half the plastic. Try again and push the rest. And it did. Let's see if that happens again. Oh. Okay. Well. Pink looks really tight, spool snagged. No. Saturday is the 20th. Yeah, so I went over it at the beginning of the stream, but on, I will be doing a stream on the 27th and the 28th, so that's a Monday, Tuesday, probably earlier in the day for the Euro folks. Try and make it more universal for everyone, because I know a lot of people have this week off. And then I will also be doing a stream on the Thursday, and that will be a giveaway stream. And then also, Joel is doing his big giveaway stream like he did one last year. He's doing one on the 22nd this year. So. Holy macros. Yeah, so this is the fun thing about Clipper. These are all the wonderful macros. Obviously, you don't need all these, but like there's a ton of macros in this to get the Enraged Rabbit to work. But like, if you look at IRCFA software, all this stuff here, between like the percentage signs, this is all just Python. Like you can have Python code in your config and it can understand it. So it's all like else if and loading and unloading and measurements and all kinds of funky stuff. So you can have Python code. And let me find the video. Some crazy madman. Yeah, here it is. Some crazy madman has an Enraged Rabbit carrot feeder running on RepRap firmware now. So, yeah. So there you go. So somebody has an ERCFA running on RepRap. Yeah, just search ERCFA RepRap, and I think he has a link to it somewhere on his channel. I don't know. I could have sworn there was a link to a GitHub page for info. So for those that want to run one of these on a machine running RepRap, you can. But it is obviously not the default, so you're going to have a lot less support. Marlin Bros, I'm sorry, no dice yet. So, how am I doing? I'm doing good. A little bit of a sore throat, but yeah. Oh, 1 second here. What do I think of 3D Printing Canada? If they're the site, I think I've bought them from them. Or no, I normally buy from filaments.ca. 3D Printing Canada. I don't think I've ever bought from them, but I've heard them a lot, so I don't think there's anything. Like, I think they are a legit site as far as I know. Just got my rep box. I like the rep box. It's obviously not in frame, but focus. There we go. It works good enough. I'm gonna run out of room because I have no idea. I got a Trident coming, another V0, another resin printer. Where the heck am I gonna put the Trident? Been to their physical store. There you go. Is there a stable clipper build for IDEX? I believe so. Yeah, you can run. Eddie the engineer has been playing with IDEX. There's a few people playing with it. Time to sell some printer. No, I built them all. They're mine. Yeah, normally in Canada, like I just got a whole whack load. That's what this is being printed right now. This guy right here, other than the black, which I should have ordered black. I didn't realize I was running low on black PLA. This is all Jesse Filament from Printed Solid. I picked up on their Black Friday. So, just stack my 01 inside Tallboy. Well, you can. That's the best part of a V0. Like, you don't need a Tallboy. You can put a V0 in a 250. There we go. And then what you do is you put your door on. Okay. And that's how you enclose a V0. You build a V2 and you put your V0 in the V2 and now it's enclosed. Let me take it out before I forget that it's in there and try and home. Bungee cord, hang it from the ceiling. That would be interesting how Input Shaper would handle that. Pays me to sell my DIY printers that I built, but I'm going to sell at least one to raise funds for the Prusa XL. Well, when's the Prusa XL coming out? Prusa XL. Because I've got my pre-order in too. Which, once you convert it to Canadian and all the Q2 to Q3. So let's go Q3 2022. What date is that? So Q3 is July. Okay? So July. How many days until July 1, 2022? Okay. So it's 209 days. And a Prusa XL is $19.99. So if you save $10 a day between now and the Prusa XL comes out, you can pay for one. Minus tax, minus shipping, minus import fees and duties. And that's the base model. So put like $15 a day between now and then, and you'll be good. Hard to get much money when selling. It's buying a DIY printer is always a crapshoot. It's always a crapshoot. It's like buying somebody's hobby car, right? If you're on the Voron Discord, check out the sales section. Because sometimes people put up, you know, Vorons and whatnot for sale, and you are trusting somebody's work completely. Like, I know I attach all my heater pads on my beds in a way that I feel is safe enough that I can run them lights out. I don't know if random guy on internet did. That's why, like, I've had people offer me money to build them Vorons, and I've turned them down every time because I'm like, I don't want to be liable. Like, you know, I'm going to be giving away a V0, but part of you winning that is going to be, I'm going to build it all on stream. I'm going to build it to the best of my abilities. But once you take that printer, it's yours. Like, I don't want to be liable. Like, I'll help you if something breaks in transport, but if like 6 months after you buy it, if you flash the firmware wrong, I won't be able to give you one-on-one support. I'll try and help, obviously. I'll try and be a nice guy, but you know what? Yeah, I hope you understand what I mean there. Out of stock on release date. Oh God, they. What did Joseph say? Was it? I don't know if it was a blog post or if it was the interview with Joel, but he said like they had like 3 times as many pre-orders as they expected. Maker Vikings here. Hi, Maker Viking. But yeah, so if you haven't pre-ordered it, like if you're expecting to go on Prusa.com and just kind of click buy now in the next year and a half, yeah, no. Because even like right now, the Mini is 5 to 6 weeks. 10 to 12 weeks for just the kit. What about the Mark III? Yeah, i3, 5 to 6 weeks. 5 to 6 weeks if you order an i3 right now. So you can't get one for Christmas. SL1? 8 to 10 weeks. 8 to 10 weeks. Jeez. Phil R, $4.99. Thank you, appreciate it. My timing was bad and I got sidetracked. Oh, I meant multi-material models. Is it possible to convert a CR10? Technically, pretty much any extrusion frame bed flinger, you technically can convert to a switch wire. Depends how much work you need to want to put into it. So multi-material prints, okay. Usually when you download one, so let's pull up a multi-material print here. Let's putting up one that I like that I'm going to print next. So let's download Lawyer Cat. Extract all. And by the way, this print should finish on the stream today. Okay. So, hi Patrick. Goodbye, Patrick. So I'm using Super Slicer here. This is pretty much the same as Prusa Slicer. Okay. Downloads. There you go. Yeah, so that's the full version. So usually when you open up a multi-material model, it'll go like, oh, hey, this is a multi-material model. Instead of considering them as multiple objects, should I consider them as a single object with multiple parts? You hit yes. And then there's your Lawyer Cat, okay? Now, what I normally do is you look at the model and you go, what colors do I want, okay? So I'm looking at the model, it's a cat, right? So I'm gonna want Obviously, he looks horrible there, right? Poor cat looks horrible. So he's a cat. Cats are, let's think Garfield. Orange. What else? We're going to need some white, obviously, for like the eyes. We're going to need black. Okay. For his suit, we can give him a, a blue suit. And you're picking your colors right now. Brown, and then we'll just do a green, because why not? So now we got to figure out, we go through his briefcase. What color do we want his briefcase to be? Well, his briefcase will make it brown, okay? And then his head, well, his head, we want it to be orange. And you just go through and you basically color him. Feet, orange, and then you slice it. Oh, he's got a nose. We got to make the nose pink. His suit, make it blue. His tie, make it white, whatever. There you go. So there you go. See what I mean? So that's how you would color him. And then you go through, and then it's all settings after that. And that's the biggest thing. I'm hoping to have the video on the Enraged Rabbit done this week. I need to do a bunch of videos. That's also another thing. For every 1,000 views my channel gets between now, well, in the month of December, $1 of that is also going towards the charity, or whatever it is E3D is setting up in Sanjay's name, or a charity of E3D's choosing in Sanjay's name. Myself, Joel, Tom3D, CNC Kitchen, a whole bunch of other channels are doing the same thing. So make sure you watch everyone's content this month. What's the difference between Super Slicer and Prusa Slicer besides name? Prusa Slicer, Super Slicer is Prusa Slicer without the training wheels on and more settings available to you. So for example, the reason I really like Super Slicer, multi-material here, when we go down here to, where is it? Which setting is it? Yeah, right here. So max speed on Wipe Tower. So if you notice, wait 1 second here for it to get back to it. I have it set for 200%. So when it's doing the Wipe Tower moves over here, on the Wipe Tower, it moves at 200% speed. That's not even an option in Prusa Slicer. So it goes all nice and slow, because it does like perimeter speed or whatever. When we're trying to get filament out of the nozzle here. I want it to go quick, right? So there's a whole bunch of other settings that you have more access to in Super Slicer. So you can go in and tweak things a little bit more, but it doesn't handhold as much as Prusa Slicer. Prusa Slicer has a lot of assumed parameters, and it does a lot of things that you might not want. So for example, it over extrudes on the first layer of a bridge, I believe, or something like that. It does a bunch of funky stuff that, yeah, if you're just printing, generic models like dragons all day, yeah, whatever. But if you're trying to print like super accurate parts, like for an Enraged Rabbit carrot feeder, you may have into issues. Is there a line in Patrick's mouth? There's like one little streak of black filament right there. Oh, I might be able to get it off. I'm not going to fiddle with it right now. But his mouth has a tongue. That doesn't look right yet. Yeah, it over extrudes on bridges. It over extrudes on bridges, and it screws up lettering. So if you're printing something that has like text on the bottom of it, on the first layer, it likes to screw that up a lot too, because it'll smush that second layer down because it's a bridge, and I don't know, I don't like it. It does a lot of things that assumes, because it's, you know, meant for slice and go, kind of like Prusa's. So I'm having an issue with the switch wire where the y-axis was weird clicking when moving the bed. I suspect it is an issue. I suspect it is G issue. If it's clicking while you're moving something, make sure your bearings are good. Make sure the belt isn't catching on the 20 tooth on the extruder. Make sure it's not like catching on like a part of the extrusion or something as it goes by. It's like tick, 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 or something. Yeah, it's usually if it's it's hard to say without hearing it. And is it like only in one area or is it the whole movement? But usually something's catching. No, this is Patrick. And actually, I think the dog's outside. Let me... Oh, there you are, buddy. There's the good boy. Needy boy. Sit. Say hello to everyone. What did you get into? He got brushed yesterday. It doesn't matter. Look at all this floof. Look at all this floof. Kisses? Kisses? Oh! Rejection. Okay, you get the one treat. Nope. Get out of here, Mr. Sheds everywhere.
Doggo.
Don't you give me those eyes. I know you're only here for the food. Duff, $6.99, doggo. All the floof, all the hair. But yeah, slicing for multi-material, especially something like this. Honestly, I think, I don't have, obviously, I do have an IDEX. I don't use it that much. It's in the other room. Tool changer, all multi-material has downsides. There is no good multi-material. There are ways that are better in one way, but worse in others. It really depends what you're looking to do. A multi-material unit such as this, the Prusa MMU, the Rage Rabbit Carrot Feeder, or even just a Y splitter, those are okay for colors. If you're just doing colors, your biggest downside is just being finicky and the purge tower, okay? But for colors, they work fine because you can purge out enough of the color. But if you want to do multiple materials, then you run into issues because you're always going to leave contaminants in the nozzle. So if you're, printing with ABS and HIPS and you're purging between the two, you're going to get HIPS in your ABS. And when you go to dissolve the HIPS out, you're going to weaken your ABS.
Thanks for Firminator recommendation.
Michael Morris, $5. Thanks for the Firminator recommendation. Somebody recommended me to get one, and it's awesome. So yeah. How did I get that 400-pound Husky workbench down the stairs? What? This one? Are you talking about this bench? In pieces. I built it down here. This bench right here is wood. Like, this is like my old reloading bench that I built in the room. Well, actually, I built it in the other room, and then I took it apart to move it into this room. Oh, the one behind me in the drawers. You ever watch that part in Home Alone when he uses the sled to go down the stairs? Like that. Actually, I was kind of unhappy because I was hoping, the plan was to take the top off because it's wood and it's heavy, but it's like permanently attached. So, But good thing I got the resin corner set up, because I think I have another one on the way. I won't say which one it is, obviously, until it shows up. I've had companies say, oh, we're going to send you something. I'm like, awesome, that'll be great. And then it never shows up. So, but I have been using the resin the past little while here. Oop. Nope, wrong camera. There we go. And of course, I've been using the resin printer to print things of questionable... these are affronts to God and all that is holy. So here is my Rockzilla with the belt. And this is Dwayne with mittens. Because right now the running joke on Thanks is everyone's sticking the Rock's head on everything. So this is, you know, Bernie mittens. This is Dwayne mittens. So. Oh! What do you mean F? Whoa, 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 whoa. Ooh. Okay. Yeah, let me, yeah, there we go. Okay. There we go. I got a new, I'm no longer running the crappy audio capture anymore. I got another cam link, which somebody sent me a cam link. Thank you, whoever that was. I think I know who it was, but I guess somebody was getting fed up of the fact that my overhead camera colors always sucked. So now I have another cam link. So I just plugged that in. I forgot to turn off the audio for it. So I got a Photon S. That's what I'm using right now. That's what all my resin stuff has been so far. Is like it's a $200 Photon S right here. Like you really can't go wrong for $200. Like you can't even see the layer lines on that. I'm running out of room to store prints. That's actually, I've thrown out so many prints in the past like week because I don't have room for them anymore. A voxel lab Proxima 6. Ooh, nice. I see, that's the thing. Every now and then, like, somebody will tweet out on Twitter or whatever, like Uncle Jesse be like, oh my god, this printer is like $100, and I look at it, I'm like, oh yeah, I'll totally buy that. That, you know, something to fiddle around with for content. But it's Amazon.com. And then once you go to like Amazon Canada or you factor in exchange and shipping, it's like $300, $400 for something that was $100. And it's like, well, that sucks. Sell my old prints? Not really. Thanks for making the rock lobster. Yeah, if you want that horrible abomination unto the Lord, it is on Thangs. Because right now, this is what everyone's doing is... This is the meme of the month. Is you take the rock's head and you put it on stuff. So this is mine. This is my rock lobster. This is a wonderful 5 minutes in Windows 3D Builder. Rock ring, Rockzilla, the Karok, if you want a Karok. Yep. Here's another Karok. Yep. The wonderful, the magic of 3D printing. God has left us. He has abandoned us. Is the Purge Tower lower than the Patrick? Yes, the Purge Tower is lower than the Patrick. What you can do is you can slice using sparse layers. So what that means is if you're printing, you know, solid pink for a while, you can basically tell it, don't bother doing purge on those layers where it's only one color, and the tool head will just move over and then move down. Now, you need to ensure that you have enough room for clearance, because the last thing you want to do is, you know, to come back and down and then this like hits your print or whatever. So if you got a big print and your purge tower is really close to the print, you can't do it. But something like this where there's room, you can, so you'll watch, it'll come up and then it'll come back over after the filament change here. Okay, loading the black in. He's back at the door again. 1 second. Yeah, so you'll see it'll come up and then over. There you go. Yeah. What do you want, Coda? What? Someone's being needy. What do you want? Tell me what you want. You want pets? Is that what you want? Search Frosted Snowman on Thangs by Troy. Would love to see my design on a mural. Let me take a look here. Whoa. Pause. Oop. Oh. Okay, that's screwed up. We had a jam. Ugh. Do not load the green. We don't need green. Okay. Work for home. T1, load T1. And resume. There we go. There we go. Okay. He's hungry. I know he's hungry. Look at this. Look at this guy. Come here. Get off your butt. Sit. So yeah, so what happened there, I've been playing with settings to just try and improve reliability on it, and that's the thing with this in Rage Rabbit. You are going to have to play with settings to tweak it and tune it to get it good. One of the settings I played with to prevent the filament was falling out and it wasn't able to reload it, I shortened the distance that it pulls the filament out. And what happened there is the washer didn't close, so the filament actually fell back through frontwards. It went to move to load another filament, and what happened was it jammed on it, and it's, you know, it's got no encoder. It's on a servo, so it thought it moved X and it didn't because it got jammed. And then it went to load a filament and it loaded the green instead of the pink, which would have been bad. Go hang out with Mama. You normally hang up upstairs. Why are you down here? Who wants to donate dog hair? Oh, your poor ear. You got it there. There we go. Okay. I don't know if you can hear his leg going. Okay. Okay. That's enough. Now I gotta sweep up all the dog hair. And he drooled everywhere too, of course. There we go. There's dog drool and food everywhere. Oh, what happened now? What happened now? Too much slippage. What do you mean too much slippage? It didn't slip. Oh, it did. Okay, there, that. Walk that back up. Work for home. Now let me make sure it wanted T1. Yep, T1. Okay, yeah, you're jamming up. Why are you jamming up? I don't know what it is. I have like... Every time I play with this thing, it'll run great for like 5-6 hours, and then right at the end of the print, when it starts to get like... It likes to start misfeeding. Luckily, this thing's pretty smart, and it can like stall out in the middle of the night, and you can wake up, fix what happened, and just resume the print, and it's fine with that. Because it'll turn the heater off after a while, for the hot end. There you go. But it won't turn the bed off. So it'll kind of go into like a standby mode. So. Resin Works, in Toronto, they sell some interesting resins. Take a look. What is it? Resin Works. They're in Toronto. Wax-based photopolymer resins. Ooh. So it's a wax-based resin. Oh, you know what? Wax-based resin. That would be really good if you wanted to do some lost wax casting or jewelry or something. Like, yeah, look, yeah, heavy jewelry. Yeah, so if you wanted to do like print something in resin and then encase it in sand or whatever, the sand, and then pour like liquid aluminum or metal in there. Investment casting. Yeah, that's what it is. Casting resin. Ooh, that is cool. Unfortunately, I don't have a forge. Also, it's $255 per kilogram. That's a spicy meatball. Ugh. Doesn't everyone have a forge? I don't have a forge. You know, if the channel blows up and this becomes my full-time job, and I end up buying a shop, I'll get a forge at that point, guys. And okay, that one fell out. That one made sense. When I was filling with the other one, I bumped it. T3. T3. Yeah, load the black. There we go. You have to forward yet. Same thing, you weren't going to pre-order or Prusa XL. Well, if you guys want to start a donation train to get me to buy a forge, by all means. But I don't have room for a forge, unfortunately. So I wouldn't be able to use it. Why would you blow up your channel? For the content. Why else? Chainsaw Robovac, $5 towards the forge. How much is a forge? So let's see, if I wanted to get a forge, let's go on Amazon. His ear is bugging him. Oh, 3D Wildcat. Yeah, he does actually. He's getting eardrops right now. He does have something going on with his one ear. So he is getting taken care of for that right now. So forge. There you go. Butane forge. So these are like, okay, so no, I want a melt metal forge. These are like, I want to be on the knife making show forge. Okay, so these, there you go. So, yeah, $400. But of course, we would buy the absolute cheapest one off AliExpress. Crucible, that's what I want, a crucible. No, I don't want a Crusade helmet. There you go, 3 kilogram gold melting furnace. There we go. Yeah. I love how like the different brands have different logos. Use an old steel rim from a car. There you go. That resin was for dental castings. Yep, that makes sense. A little bit of fuzzies of black. Yeah, I'll clean it up later. Collab with Alex Steele. Why does that sound familiar? I don't know who that is, though. Ah. There we go. Now it's loading right. Well, here's the thing. You guys are like, oh, collab with this guy. You gotta remember, I live, like, nowhere near anyone in terms of, like, the YouTube sphere. I live in Canada, so that pretty much rules out... Well, actually, no, I can go to the States now, but I can only go over for, like, 72 hours. Otherwise, I gotta get a PCR test to come back, and it's a pain in the butt. For Forge. So I'm, like, crossing international borders, and, like, there's no other Canadian YouTubers near me at all. Lisa E. SEK, so that's Swedish. Yeah, I'm thinking Swedish. 100, right? Right. I think. Only for forge. Okay. Where is the black coming from? From the filament. Up there. There's the black. And it's for his mouth. Yeah, I was right. I'm starting to learn all the monies. I know the Japanese yen is the Pokemon money. I know that one. I always get pounds and euros screwed up, and I know that offends the British guys. Hacksmith. Is Hacksmith the guys? Yeah, they do like the crazy stuff. Where are they based out of? Oh, they're in Kitchener. Or no, the guy was born in Kitchener. Where are they at, though? Where's it? Hacksmith. Where are they out of? So the buddy was born. Oh, they are in Kitchener. Oh, that's like 2 hours away from me. Yeah, that is actually not far at all from me. I don't know if I could be like, hey, let's collab, and them not even know who I am, but yeah, they are, let's see. Yeah, they're a 2.5 hour drive from me. Huh, that's cool. I could have sworn they were out in BC. Yeah, I could have sworn they were like, I know like LTT's out in the Vancouver area. It's like, who's the Canadian YouTubers? Linus and Linus and the other guys from LTT. €5. Thank you, appreciate it. Keep forging ahead. I do want to branch out into doing more things other than 3D printing, like electronics and whatnot. Oh, speaking of electronics, Timit sent me a care package. Doggo treats. So I have these that I got to play with, and I got to figure out how they work. But I've got these. So these are PCBs. These are a whole bunch of RGBW LEDs that go on the PCBs. And then these PCBs are your sidewalls on your V0. Oh, I got a jam. Yep, that's a jam. Go. So yeah, let me pull up a video of that in a minute after I get this guy fixed and going again. So T1. I gotta be almost on the black, I think.
LaForge.
I know Chep is over the border. I do know that. Let me find Timit here. So yeah, if you're not following Timit on the Twitters, follow Timit on the Twitters. But yeah. So I don't have, I need to figure out something for a diffuser panel still. So, but yeah. And there's a GitHub page for it. So you can be all ballin'. We are going to pip the V0. Yeah. Sean Fritz, $5. Full power LaForge. Right, Captain. If I have a 100-watt Kinovo heater, you could run 100. I think we recommend 60 watt. I can't remember. What do we got on V0? I can't remember. 24 volt, 60 watt. Yeah, 60 watt. There's a calculation. It's like 0.4. Is it 0.4 or 0.6? It's like 0.4 watts per cm cube or cm squared. So. So yeah, so I got to figure out how to put all this together and solder this up. Yeah, I could use, like, I have like a generic diffuser, but I want like a tinted one, like a black tinted one. I think that's what Timit used. I think he had I can't remember, like yeah, he had something. Yeah, use tap plastic black LED, or yeah, 3mm tap plastic black LED acrylic. So I need to get some of that. So. The UV stuff. Yeah, I saw Joel's video. Yeah, so they were using, it's like an acrylic, and it like insta hardens as soon as it leaves the nozzle because it's UV reactive. So the only thing I can see being an issue with this printer is simply for the fact, if you look, where is it printing? Where are some videos of it printing? Yeah. So, yes, it's a big printer. Yes, it prints fast and you don't have overhangs. But if you are looking at it printing, one, look at this assembly. This ain't fitting on a Voron anytime soon. Okay? This is an industrial machine. Okay? It's running on servos. This is an industrial machine. But also, that's a fat nozzle. And they need to run input shaper. But this is an industrial machine. That'd be cool if that tech could scale down so that you could do insta-hardened resin, basically, or something that's semi-soft that instantly hardens as soon as it leaves the nozzle, because then you get all kinds of funky geometries you can do without supports. But how much is that material? What is the minimum nozzle size? Yeah, you know what I mean. It's something that is really cool. Still needs a lot of work if you wanted to do it at home. So, yeah, I know Uncle Bumblefuck's in BC. Any pressure advance? It's similar to Lady's Fingernail Acrylic Gel. Oh, but does it run Clipper? It probably runs something a lot more advanced. It's running Marlin 1.8. Patent for insta-curing resin is expiring. You know what I've actually been using? I've been lazy. And instead of super gluing stuff, I've been using my resin machine. Because I put a piece of tape on the back so I can just turn on the LEDs. So if I got to make two things stick together, I'll just dip them in the resin, hold them together, and stick them in front of the UV light and just auto-cure it in like a minute. Because my son keeps breaking like little toys. So I keep, gluing them back together with the resin. And it's cured resin, and it's only a little bit, so he's fine. He's not eating them, he's just breaking them. Aren't those LEDs the same you need for Stealth Burner? No, Stealth Burner is RGBW. Just picked up a resin. Honestly, resin is really cool. It is still, in my opinion, very niche. But there is no way you can print the quality that you see on a resin printer on an FDM. Like, it's just insane the quality you get out of a resin machine. Like look at that. Like, you'll never get that out of an FDM. And this is a $200 resin machine. So, am I in Kitchener? No, a little bit further south. Pretty much as south as you can go. I'm trying to flash the spider board with the Clipper firmware. It is not working. Make sure you're following the instructions. Make sure you have the right bootloader offset. So Windsor, pretty much. South Detroit. A lot of resin people, or a lot of cosplayers using resin as a coating over FDM and hardening it to sand it smoother, faster. Yep, I know that. There's also a filler. I know a lot of people use like a body filler. A bootloader offset. Yes, Cooper, make sure you're following the instructions. They're either pinned on the Voron GitHub, or not the Voron, on the Discord. Firmware. Yeah. So go to the Physec Spider GitHub. Sorry. And like make sure you're following the proper instructions. Because there's instructions that you have to follow for flashing Clipper. My next kit will be a 0.1 for sure. Honestly, the LDO's 0.1 kit is ballin'. I think the kit that I'm having, that is I'm building, is based on that kit with more extras added on top, I believe. I'm not 100% sure though. Are lithopanes viable for FDM? Yes, you can do lithopanes on an FDM. I've done them in the past. I haven't done one in a while, so I don't have one on hand. But you can do lithopanes on an FDM actually quite well. And I've seen people do colored ones. Because you can print multiple colors, so you should be able to do a lithopane in multiple colors as well. Will you review my modified Prusa Slicer color theme live on air right now? Do I want to? If I have to download and install anything, no. But if you want to send me a picture, DM me it on Discord. Multiple color prints are awesome, no longer need to paint. It depends though, because then the thing is though, you need all the different colors that you want to print with. Like I'm out of storage again. I built a shelf like a couple weeks ago or a couple months ago, and it's already... I'm on the Voron Discord. If you guys ever need to send me anything, it's Voron Discord. Uber Nero is my name. I get enough. I get tons of DMs though, so if I don't answer you, it probably just got buried. Did the linear rail help out? Linear rail on what? Controversial opinion. I print lithopanes facing up on FDM. Why? You can't get the same amount of detail. What's the reason for choosing mainsail over fluid? Because I have multiple installed. I have all the colors of the rainbow. And they're all different versions. I run them both. To me, honestly, they're both pretty much the same. Let's get something going on the V0. I don't have anything on the V0. Let's load up Yukon. I got some nice... What should we print? Let's print something. I've watched a dozen of these, and the first I've caught live. Well, thank you for joining us today. Today's stream is just the print and chill. Got a bit of a sore throat, waiting on stuff to show up for the next project, so we're just kind of... Oh, God. So it's that Stormtrooper skull thing that everyone prints, but it's The Rock's face. I'm loving some of these. Like, every now and then somebody does use things for like, oh, hey, a proper explodable model. But no. The Rock on stuff. Like, here's some broccoli. Memes. Okay. So what color should we print? What are we going to print? What are we going to print? What is the Rock anyways? I don't know. What is the Rock? Why? Because why not? It's the internet. It's the internet. Give the internet an inch, they run a mile. Sometimes you just want to have fun. I have some old DaVinci 3D printers at school. They suck. Are you looking for a complete alternative to the DaVinci? There's always, like, it depends. Like, are you looking for a turnkey machine for a school? If you're looking for something for, like, a school or something like that, Prusa Mini. What color do we want to print? Let's go with this green. I like this green. Put some polyalchemy up. Is it cool I sent a Google Drive link? I prefer not. I try not to avoid opening up files and stuff from other people that I don't know, just because there's always a chance of bad stuff. No offense. Yep. Actually, leave that door open. So we are gonna print. What are we gonna print? What are we gonna print, guys? I got some nice green loaded in the printer. What is green that we should print? Somebody give me something to print. David's here. Everyone say hi, David. David, your filament's working. It's working pretty good. Rock goo? It is a nice green. I could do a Christmas tree. Let's do something festive. It's Christmas. It is Christmas. Is there a Rockmas tree? I don't know if there's a Rockmas tree. Hymnist, thank you for becoming a member. Surprised your filament works in Canada. Why wouldn't it? Like, do you not cold temper your filament? course it prints fine in Canada. It's colder up here, right? It needs less cooling. Like, I only bought your PLA. Why would I buy your PETG? Ooh, let's do one of these. Oh, they need support? I'm not printing something with support. I don't want to print something with support. How much the purge block weigh compared to the block? A lot. Actually, let's do this guy. Let's do this guy. Yeah. So V0. Save. Okay, so we got the V0 loading up. Goodbye, lawyer cat. Downloads. Oh, no, that ain't gonna work. Printing in Canada is like printing in Narnia. Not real, but everyone has heard of it. Ooh. I'm not gonna come visit now. That's just rude. I'm not gonna come visit now. Love the channel. Thank you for the vids. Thank you for loving the channel. Couldn't disable the purge block. The retraction to change color is not like a cold pull. Oh no, you need the purge block. If you don't have a purge block, you can't. You're never gonna clean out the nozzle. Like you need to purge. You can't just switch. Yeah. Any advice on turning filament tips in the Dragon high flow? I've always check they updated the ERCFA manual lately. Follow that, but you're gonna have to play around with it. Unfortunately, it's really dependent on what filament you're using, and your nozzle, and there's a ton of things that'll affect it. I'm really waiting to get a Revo in here to see how the Revo handles it, but yeah. There is purge to infill. I haven't played with that yet. And also, I just haven't gotten around. Like, it really depends on the size of the model, too. Not all models you can purge to infill. Like, not all of them are big enough to do that. So. Actually, what's that Flexi Dragon that everyone's doing right now? Is it the Flexi Dragon? What's that Flexi? Is it Flexi Dragon or Articulated Dragon? It's on Cults, right? Videos on Clipper of getting me the best prints ever. That's good to hear. Look up the ooh. Okay, let me see if I can find that Daza spiral ornament. Oh, those look cool. Are they print in place? Do I need support? Looks like I do need support. Those are trippy. Do you prefer RepRap firmware? I prefer Clipper. I haven't used by firmware in a while. It's been a while. Trying to find that Flexi Dragon that everyone is printing right now. That Flexi Dragon that everyone's printing, that's on, is it Cults 3D? Downloads. There it is. Articulated Dragon, there you go. Oh, it's $5. Articulated Dragon, there it is, okay. Okay, let me find that. Okay, let me... Download. View cart and checkout. Proceed to download. Sign up. I gotta sign up. Whatever, screw it. Just use my Google. That's too much work. My Dragon High Flow is blocking up with play at 100%. Yep. So what'll happen is when it goes to change color for the eyes, it'll just drop back down. There's enough clearance that it's like printing sequentially, essentially. Blocking up. Are you saying like jamming up? And printing at 80 millimeters a second? With a 0.4 nozzle, that should be okay. What are you printing? If it's PLA at 215 at 80, that should be fine. Yeah, Clipper with input shaping, pressure advance, and all the bells and whistles is just... mwah. And it's funny because it's like, a lot of people poo-poo it. Like, I've seen people comment that it's not real firmware because it doesn't run on a single board. But, like, that's how all CNC machines run. Like, yeah. Okay, we are going to print ourselves a Schrock because why not? Because why not? Supports on build plate only. Infill 10% slice. Have I tried other filament? Yeah, see, so you can see right there how it moved over. So I think we're doing the eyes now, which is white, which I haven't fed white into this yet, so hopefully it works. Oh, no. Cancel. There we go. Put Clipper on my Rat Rig V3. First time user, love it. That's good. Yeah, it's still firmware. And now we are printing with white. So we're doing the eyes. More Urkfa? Oh, we're just hanging out tonight. Did I manage to correct the gate that wasn't working properly? They're all working right now. This uses all 6 colors. And they're all working. I've had the odd issue pop up, mostly with refeed. But that's because of the way my filament storage is kind of not the greatest. Okay, so let's print our schrock. Upload and print. Yeah, as David said, smash that like button. David, you said it wrong. It's like the smash button. You gotta keep the consistency there. But I need to talk to you about the little thing I'm planning for the end of the month, so we'll have a chat at some point. Because as fun as it is giving away a single V0, I figure I gotta spice up the pot a bit. And what time is it right now? Yeah, 9:30. Close enough to drink time. So tonight's drink of choice is the always good JP Wiser's. Cheers. It's my favorite time of the year. It's when you get all the free tumblers and whatnot at the LCBO. Interesting how it goes down to the block. It's to save room, because otherwise you have like different options when it comes to oh, you're heating up. That's what that's doing. Otherwise, it would just be printing like filler layers and wasting time essentially. So because there's enough clearance for it to travel, that's good. And then also, it's a switch wire. So your Z is stupid fast. That's the advantage of fast Z. When people are like, oh, your Z doesn't need to be fast. Your Z doesn't need to be fast. Think of how much time I'm saving not having to print every layer of the purge block when it's printing single color for a while, and not going lead screw between layers. It's boom. Saves so much time. It adds up. $9:30 currently watching from Germany. 3:30. Oof. Good night. Take care. The jump up and down looks scary. You just gotta believe. Just gotta believe. Wait for it, wait for it. Like, it's a CNC machine, right? Like, yes, they're built cheaply, but these are CNC machines. So it's always going to go in the same direction. It should be accurate enough. Like, you shouldn't really have issues with, like, it's not going to slam into it. It's not going to suddenly drop down and slam into it. It's repeatable within, you know, fractions of a micro step. Let's put a belted Z on my V01, doing my first prints now. Nice. I have, my one V0 has belted Z. I gotta update it because it's rubbing a bit, but. The purge block is all slicer. It's all slicer. James McKay, $5. Thank you, appreciate it. Thanks for the help with the bed heater on the Discord the other day. Keep up the awesome stream. Thank you. As a designer of the Rock Ring, was wondering what your take was on IP rights for 3D scans of celebrities being remixed into things. If I'm not mistaken, technically it's not the rock.
Hey, Nero,
The face that
thanks for
everyone's
the help
using
with the
is
bed
from
heater on
a
Discord the other
model
day.
somebody made of
Keep
the
up
Rock's
awesome
character
strength.
in Jungle Book. Or in Jumanji, I believe. So it's technically not the Rock. But as a celebrity, your face is already in the public. Like he's on Fortnite. His face is in Fortnite right now, I believe. I seen a video about it today. But like, as a celebrity, you kind of lose some rights, I believe, by having your face out there. Now, if somebody were to try selling these things, then you might have an issue. But just kind of slapping the Rock's face on an image or on an STL and just kind of throwing it out there on the internet for whatever, I don't really have issue with that. But if I were to like start selling rock lobsters, I could see, you know, hey, maybe a lawyer might knock on my door. Any benefits to belted Z? Faster, no lead screw wobble, lighter. Sometimes mostly cheaper. It's cheaper to do belted Z on a switch wire than it would be to be a traditional setup where you had 2 integrated lead screws, like on a Prusa Mark III, for example. Are CNCs mostly linear rail based? Depends on their size. Linear rails, yes, and we're talking like rails that big. A lot of them have ways though, where it's like dovetail, it's like ways. It depends on the machine, it depends on the price and the size. Yeah, like you're not gonna have lead screw wobble if you don't have lead screws. Why didn't the LDO kit for the V0? Because it's spec to have a lead screw in your V0. That is spec. On a machine that small, you're not really seeing too much, if any, real advantage on a belted Z. Because the belted Z is a mod and it's not official, and it still has a few quirks. At least last time I looked at it. YouTube is not receiving enough video to maintain smooth streaming. I have gigabyte up. What the heck are you complaining about, YouTube? Are dovetails more accurate? Depends on scale. I think dovetails can carry more weight, but you have to, because it's just at that point you just have, you know, steel and then like brass or some other metal, with a lot of grease grooves and oil grooves and whatnot, because it's literally metal on metal, but they're dissimilar metals. What is the cable cover? I don't know. It was some random mod I printed a while ago and I've hacked it up. I need to print the proper one because it doesn't fit. It was just a temporary one I printed a while ago because I'm running, when I was running the Galileo on it, but I'm actually running just a stock afterburner right now. See, here's the thing, Techmaster. I switch between Z and Z all the time, purposely, because I know it annoys people. It's showing that it's not a live stream. I am a live stream. I'm live right now. Which LED mount? I can't remember. I found it on, what's the website? Faked? Where is it? Where is it? Yeah, so if you go to fake.org/Voron mods, you can actually search Voron mods. And I think it's this one. Yeah, it's this one. This is the one I'm using. So fake.org/Voron mods. Do I have any experience with scraping and dovetails? I do not. I know what it is. I have never done it personally, though. I need to do that on my Bridgeport. I'm looking for tips. Watch a lot of YouTube videos or pay somebody to do it. Can you even pick what No, yeah, see, the resolution is picked by OBS. So right now I'm uploading 1080p 30. The thing is, the way YouTube is, you can only do 6,000 kilobits. So live will be red. If you're not, okay, click on the live button. If you're watching a live stream and you scroll back and you're not like right at the minute, if you click on the little wording that says live in the bottom left corner, it'll jump to live. There we go. I'm waiting for the new Dragonfly BMS. I'm sticking with Bonum for now, all because of your recommendations. Sticking for Bonum? I haven't recommended Bonum in a while. BMS is good. Dragonfly's a good hotend. There's one itty bitty piece of pink filament in there I gotta clean out. Is it live or if it's Memorex? Wow. Wow. I don't think anyone is gonna get that. That is pushing it. Then again, my average age demographic is like in the 30s, so. I do, sadly. Boomer. Back in my day, we had to rewind the videotapes before we brought them back to Blockbuster, or we would pay a fee. God, I have nozzles everywhere. Yeah, like, here, let's go down the rabbit hole that is my YouTube demographics right now. YouTube Studio. Analytics. Audience. Let me see here. Okay, so I don't have any incriminating stuff up here right now. Okay, so we should be good. Okay. So according to this, most of you guys watch CNC Kitchen, Tom Sandlander, 3D Printing Nerd, Teaching Tech, and Maker's Muse, which that's your like trifecta of 3D printing guys. So yeah, you're mostly active when you guys are at work. That makes sense there. This is why I upload my videos at 10, by the way. If you guys wondering why I put my videos live at 10 a.m., it's because that's kind of like when most of you guys are paying attention. Yep, Teaching Tech, Maker's Muse, 3D Printing Nerd, yep. Only 58% of you are subscribed? Why aren't you subscribed? Ring that bell. Hit the button. Mash the like. Do the thingy that all the other tubers do. I don't know. 30% of you are American. 11.7% Germans. A lot of Germans. And I keep saying you guys because this place is a total sausage fest. Because right now it's 99.5% male audience. So, yeah, this is a sausage fest. But yeah, 25 to 34 is 31% of my audience, and then 35 to 44 is the other. So 60% of my audience is in 25 to 44. Only, oh my God, only like 11% of my audience is under 24. Good God. All the old people. All the old people. Yeah, make sure you're subscribed. That way you get all the notifications and whatnot. And ring the bell and like the smash button. Blah, 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 blah. Sign up for my newsletter and make sure you're on the BBS and all that. My ICQ number is as follows. Old, I'm in my 60s. It's weird, as you get older, you don't think of old people as old because you become the old people. Like, I'm 33. I do not see myself as old, yet I'm working with people half my age, and it's like, I make references to Simpsons jokes that were aired, like the episode is older than them. Because they were born 5 years after The Simpsons stopped being good. BBS, you've been talking to David. Yep, I got my Amiga out with my Model M keyboard. I wish I had a Model M. Every now and then I look for one and it's like, I don't need one. Instead, I'm dealing with this crappy Logitech wireless that likes to disconnect half the time. The Simpsons still gets predictions right. It's not that they get predictions right. It's just, it's literally the million monkeys writing on a million typewriters fallacy. They've been around for so long, they've done everything. So. FidoNet. I had an AOL account. We had AOL, which was weird because I live in Canada, but we had AOL. That was like our first internet. So sad that the majority of the Simpsons haven't been good since like season, what is it? Season 9 was the last good one, or was it season 8? But yeah, like, it's been a long time since the Simpsons have been good. Do I recommend building a Voron as your first 3D printer? No. I recommend building a buying a printer, learning the basics of 3D printing, and then using that printer to print your Voron parts. Because that will get you good at the basics of 3D printing, understanding how to use a 3D printer, understanding what a slicer is, basics of maintenance, basics of operations, and then go into building your Voron. Also, it's going to be a lot quicker because if you don't have a Voron, you got to wait for PIF, and depending on where you are in the world, getting Voron parts can take months. That purge block is tiny compared to the palette. That's apparently one of the things that somebody told me. The palette, because of the way the palette works, it doesn't quite know exactly where the filament splice is by the time it reaches the nozzle. So it purges a lot. Versus this, where it has an encoder. So it knows exactly where that filament tip is every time. So it can purge accurately. So. Am I using a Dragonfly? Yes. Yeah, this has a Dragonfly. That has a Dragonfly. That has a Revo. That has a Rapido. Building a Prusa was my first. Building a Prusa is different than building a Voron. If you're technically inclined, you can build it. It's honestly, building a Voron isn't as hard as some people make it out to be. But you have to kind of know what you're looking at. One of my friends tried to build his first printer as a Voron with an expecting wife and juggling home improvement. Oof. What about Dragon High Flow? I have... High Flows are good. Dragon High Flow. I have... Yeah, I got a Dragon High Flow right here. Actually, I just took it out of Tallboy, and Tallboy now has a Rapido in it with a 0.6 CHT nozzle. And then, what is it down here? Toasty down here is a High Flow Dragon Voron edition. What does this guy have? This is just a regular Dragon. And then the Ender 3 has a Chimera. The switch wire is as simple as Voron. It is literally like, you could build it in a day easily if you know what you're doing. The V0, I built one in 8 hours on a live stream. but I spent like 3 hours prepping it the day before, like getting all the firmware and whatnot done. Is my Dragon the Voron edition? The Voron edition is just bling. There's no physical or functional difference between the Voron edition Dragon and the regular Dragon. They just kind of did that to kind of, because they know the Voron guys throw money at stuff. And they know it would sell. And it looks cool. Building a bonsai right now, getting prepped for the Voron 2. I love my bonsai. I have one down here. It's behind the wash bath of ISO. Did someone say Switchwire speedrun build? I think LDO is sending me a Switchwire once the kits are in country. But I'm gonna build it for a video series. I'm gonna do an instructional build, not a live stream, because I've already live streamed a Switchwire build. What LEDs? They are a printed holder. Just look up Voron mods V0 LEDs and it'll pop up. And I just have like the generic 24 volt LED strips, and I just stick these on everything. I have the printed ones I got to put up in here one day. I just keep forgetting to. Trident verse 2.4. What's the difference? On a 2.4, your Z moves. Your gantry's on the Z. On a Trident, your bed is the Z. Trident 3-point bed leveling. This is 4-point because it's a U-shaped gantry. Planes and whatnot. We're not getting into that. It really depends on what you're looking for in a printer and how much you want to spend. Personally, I like the V2. If you plan on not printing a lot of tall stuff, go with the V2. Or actually, no, the other way around. Yeah, because you're going to have a lower center of gravity on the V2. So you're going to have less moving mass. It's going to shake less at speeds. So if you print a lot of short things, remember, your bed's going to spend a lot of time high up in the air on a Trident. And that's a lot of weight higher up. But it's not as big of an issue it used to be because we got input shaping now. So honestly, just pick whatever one you think is cooler. Functionally, they're both the same. They both have the exact same gantry. It's just the Z motion is different. I'm trying to see if I can get an ERCFA sensor mod to a... Ooh, if you can get a sensor mod in there, that is a tight squeeze. Ask around in the Discord, see if anyone else is playing with that idea. You might be able to squeeze something in there. You might have to shift like the extruder body up and then shove it in between. Converting an Ender 5 to a 0G Mercury 1 tomorrow. Wish me luck. Good luck. So how's stealth coming along? It's coming along fine. That's a first gen one, by the way. This is like the one here that I've been hiding for months under the Cinepa Unirivo sticker. This is a very first edition of the stealth burner, so it doesn't have LEDs in it or anything. Which Z motion do I prefer? I've got two V2s. I've got a single V1.8 that I'm leaving as a 1.8, and then I'll be building a single Trident. Take that as you will. Personally, I think the V2 scales better for larger. The Trident, I think we only recommend 250 and 300, whereas the V2 you can scale larger better because there's less moving mass. The idea was to shove the ERCFA sensor between the Sherpa Mini and the... See, why don't you just shift the mount for the extruder up? Because you can always put a spacer for the top hat. You can always easily go up. There's nothing up here. You can easily go up. So shift your extruder up and then put the in there instead of keeping the same form factor and losing Z. That's what I would do, honestly. Try and go. It's the V1.8 we didn't recommend going to 350. Can you show how tight loose the big screw that holds the gantry pivot points together on a 2.4 should be? I'm worried mine might be too tight. Okay, so there's a lot of tribal knowledge when it comes to if you don't know what he's talking about. On the V2, you have the gantry is attached to the linear rails through some blocks, and they act kind of like a pivot. How tight should that screw be? What I do and this has worked for me quite well so far, is I snug them up, but leave them so that they can shift a little bit. And then I run the QGL, run the quad gantry level, run it like 4 or 5 times in a row. Make sure that gantry is level to your bed, and then I tighten them. And by tighten them, I mean I tighten them like you would a normal screw into plastic. So don't over tighten it, but then I tighten it and then I leave it. And then that's how mine are done, and I've never had an issue like that. Clipper, no like to be updated. I tend to only update my firmware when I feel the need to actually update it. So if there's a new feature that I want, then I will update it. But if there's no new feature and my printer is running fine, I will not update my firmware because I'm lazy. And I have like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 printers running Clipper, and they're all running different versions of Clipper, and some of them go weeks without being used, some go months, some are used every week, every day. So why is the switch wire better than the stock Ender 3? Speaking about kinematics, quite a bit. The switch wire, which is this guy, it's Core XZ, so you don't have to worry about lead screw wobble. You can't do any of the fancy clipper thing where you trim out the gantry, but when you do a bed mesh level, because it's basically Core XY but vertical, you're never going to get any of that annoying noise from your nozzle, you know, going that as it moves around the bed mesh. It's faster Z, so watch how fast the Z hops up here in a minute. And it's lighter and it's cheaper than a dual lead screw setup. You had to reflash your board. Yep, there was on the Clipper 10.0 changed enough of underlying things that it required a reflash of your controller board because the actual firmware on the controller board needed an update. That doesn't happen with every Clipper update, but make sure you read your before you update, guys, read the release notes. Don't just hit update. Because for all you know, oh, hey, you got to reflash your board. Oh, my printer is I built a 500 by 500 by 500 V2 and I got to flip it over now. 358 watching at once is essentially 10% of the Voron community. That is not even close. The Voron Discord right now. Oh God, how many people do we have on the Voron Discord? How do you see server insights? The Voron Discord right now has 27,310 people. Don't ask me how we have that many people, but we have 27,000 people on the Voron Discord. The Hevort Z motion with the ball bearings. Are you talking about the kinematic bed mount? Is that what you're referring to? Check my DMs. I don't have any DMs. What speed do I run on my V0? My V2 speed, pretty much. How many with serials? We have 4,300 serials or something like that. I'm sure many of those are doubles. A lot of people like to build multiple Vorons, but yes, it's Uber Nero. What? I don't know. I had like 5 people DM me, so I don't know which one I'm looking at. Are you the Prusa color guy? Oh, that looks cool. Okay, the Prusa slice suit. Yeah. Yeah, that looks cool. You know what? I like that. Yeah, that's not bad. That's cool. I have an issue with my switch wire when I'm doing a bed screw adjust and the nozzle moves diagonally. It makes a very loud noise. I think it's resonance. Play around with your steps. You're going to have to play around with your motor currents. It really depends on your motors, what motors you're running. But yeah, you are going to have to tweak some settings. Play around with speeds and feeds, accelerations and whatnot. What's your opinion on a 600 by 600 by 400 V2 somebody is making? That, I would say that's dumb. V2s were never designed to go that big. It's 2020 extrusions, 6mm belts. It's not meant to go that big. It was never designed to go that big. You're in Here Be Dragon territory. So, yeah, I don't recommend going that big. 400 by 400, in my opinion, is pushing it. Core XY is meant to be a fast motion system. Once you scale it big, you can't go as fast. So then why are you using a fast motion system? Do I run a Nevermore to heat my chambers more? No, I do not. I need to put one in Toasty still. Yeah, belts get really long when you go big on Core XY. This may not be the right place. Has anyone been using Linux? No, and after watching Linus, Linus Tech Tips playing around with Linux, no. I think I've seen a video on that. I don't know. I only have, what is my V1.8 is lead screw, my V0 is lead screw, and my Ender is lead screw. Well, and also a Mingda and some other printer in the other room. And I don't have lead screw wobbles with them really that much, so. Okay, he's a noob, lol. Here's the thing though, he's an average everyday person when it comes to Linux. And considering he knows more about computers than your average home gamer, if he's running into issues, most people are gonna run into issues. I've played with Linux in the past. It's cool, but it's just too much of a pain to do some things that are just really easy in Windows. Everything I know and everything I use just works in Windows, so why would I switch? What do I think about Frosty? Frosty looked cool. Where is that? Was that on an MMU? Or were these multiple pieces and you glued them together? Yeah, this is Frosty Prick. Oh, the Z seam. This is why whenever I print like something like this, I'll use Z seam and I'll put it on the back. Multi-part friction fit. Okay. Was the Trident going to be... No, the Trident's going to be a Physike build. Yeah, like my home server is running Unraid, so. I thought Zed wobble was due to the coupler misalignment between the motor shaft and lead screw. It depends. Lead screw wobble can be induced by many different things. It could be a bent lead screw, right? It could be the coupler that attaches to your lead screw isn't centered, so as it goes up, it kind of does this motion. Belted is great because your rail, like you know, on the switch wire here, you have your linear rail. Yeah. So on your linear rail, it goes down and it goes up, and it's straight. You know, considering hopefully your rail isn't bowed or whatever. So it goes up and down straight. So when you're pushing on it, you want to push it straight. The problem is on a lead screw, if the lead screw is on an angle or it's bent or bowed or the connector isn't great, it can kind of induce like a little wobble to it. And usually there's enough give somewhere in the system that that'll show up in a print. So when you have a belt, it doesn't wobble. What's the deal with cards? What's the deal with airplane food? Thoughts on the Voron M4? It's a good extruder. If you want to do a DIY Voron extruder, the M4 is great. I used to run dual M4s on my switchwire before switching to the Enraged Rabbit at direct feed. Did I see the lightning infill on Cura? That's the I think Prusa has the same thing where it's like adaptive infill, where it'll only put infill where it's needed, right? Is that pretty much the same thing as lightning? I haven't used Cura in a while, so. Anyone bug with the homing retract delay? Notice my hot end briefly pauses before retract moves. I'm not 100% sure. Oh, what filament is on the V0? It is Polyalchemy Elixir, I don't know, green something. There's a sticker on this side. No, it is not. It's Polyalchemy Elixir green something. Not quite. Lightning infill branches out from the perimeters more than needed. So it's kind of like a hybrid between adaptive and tree supports. Neat. No, this is a different. The Patrick from 12 days ago, for those curious, that's about as far as we got. And the exact same thing, where I accidentally loaded the wrong filament after fixing it. I had a layer shift, and then the layer shift didn't adhere, so it actually started separating, and I canceled the print. In the bin. I think that is Emerald City, or unless that's Emerald City. Let me check. Polyalchemy. Yeah, that is Emerald City green. That's loaded then. Odd question. Since my last clipper calibration, my skirts are printing really thin. Make sure your Z offset's correct. Why don't any of the manufacturers of machines motorize VSOT? Are you talking about putting like a motor directly on like your tool head or whatever? It's weight. Weight's a big issue at that point. Honestly, I'm not a fan of V-slot at all. Like for a motion system, aluminum extrusions are not precision things. They're extruded aluminum. They're not meant to be precise. So I'm going to be doing a video on it in the future, but basically it's the reason aluminum extrusions and V wheels are a reason a lot of people can't get good bed meshes, even with like a probe. Last time drinking game was Prusa XL. What is it today? Today is just having a nice drink. David, are you still here? If David is still here, let the fine folks know where they can get some Polyalchemy Elixir at. What am I drinking? My go-to, JP Wiser's. Good affordable source for linear rails in Switzerland, AliExpress. So, Printed Solid bought Polyalchemy, basically. They bought the formula, so Printed Solid is going to be making Polyalchemy going forward. When it comes to speed printing, right now the fastest bench is on a V0. You can go fast on any machine. Like, think about it. They're all NEMA 17 motors with belts and the same gears. They're just kind of arranged in different ways. They're all running the same firmware. All printers can go fast. It's just what quality are you accepted? What quality of final print do you consider acceptable? And are you okay putting a leaf blower to cool your ABS prints? I don't know if he'll be branded Jesse. Yeah, so there you go. Polyalchemy. Right now he's clearing out the old stock, so there were sales on Black Friday. Bought a V01 last week. Nice. We are 91% done, Patrick. I am so pissed there's that one line where I screwed up the print. Yeah, 247 printing, I think he has like the fastest print right now, which is hilarious because it's like NEMA 14s on a V0. Polyalchemy Elixir Nightshade is my favorite color. I think I have it. Yeah. Yep. That is a very... Actually, I printed my Oskitone case in it. That is a very nice purple. The blue is very nice too. They got a shiny blue. This guy was all, this guy's all Polyalchemy. Except for the fins, that's Sparta 3D, silk. But everything else is Polyalchemy. Shiny. Yeah, Nightshade. Polyalchemy, you gotta remember, for the shiny filaments, for the silk filaments, they add basically TPU to it, so you can't print them that fast. They're kind of gummy. The filament itself is like gummy, so. Thinking about view rails for the Ender 3 will be upgrade to linear rails. I love linear rails. Emerald City. This is Schrock is being printed in Emerald City right now. And then I got a red. Yeah, I picked up a red, so I got, what is it? Royal Ruby. Ooh. Oh, he's getting his eyes now. The filament feeding into the ERCFA, it looks tangled. It's not tangled, it's organized chaos. I need to get my hands, I do want to get my hands on some Prusa ASA. The problem is, every time it like pops up, it's stupid expensive in Canada and I can't justify it. But I do want to try some Prusa ASA at some point. Do I have bronze? They sent me a pack a while ago. Polyalchemy like reached out and sent me like a sampler pack, so I got like 10 spools of the stuff. Do I have bronze? I have alpha brass. No, I don't have bronze, but I do have some copper fill from another company, from Sparta. Can you add Klooper to a Prusa Mark III? Yep. Nightshade sold out of print solid. It's the sexiest color. What do you expect? And Schrock is coming along pretty well. Which color of ASA? Honestly, I want to get myself some Prusa orange. I don't have any Prusa orange. The Trident, for the colors on the Trident, I'm thinking I want to do orange. I do have, so in terms of for the Trident, what do I have? So the Trident build, the Trident's black, obviously. But I have a bunch of Sparta 3D colors. And one of them is this. Yeah, this is the guy. Sparkle Bright Orange. ABS Plus. So I was thinking of doing the Trident in this if it's got a black frame. And do it in this as the primary color. And then the accent color be black. Prusa filaments are super expensive. They are. Don't recommend it as you can run Prusa's firmware. Yeah, honestly, it's a Mark III. Run it stock. Honestly, this guy is Sparta 3D. What else? Actually, no. Nothing else. I've been printing a lot of it, though. A lot of those are Sparta 3D ABS. Like, honestly, if you're in Canada, get yourself some Sparta 3D ABS. It's good stuff. Price is good, colors are good. That's Sparta 3D. The cowling on that one, Sparta 3D. What's a good outsourcing for V01 ABS parts? PIF is all I will recommend. Orange frame and black parts is the antimatter Prusa from the Weaponeers of Cord. Oh God. Dwayne the Rock Lawnson. Because it's your front lawn. Get it? Ah. Canada, I want Tim Hortons now. See, that's how you know you're not a true Canadian. True Canadians hate Tim Hortons now. Legacy is the first Voron I'm going to build. Nice. I want to build a Legacy, but it's very hard to justify building a Legacy because it's very niche. It's a resto mod printer. It's an old printer built with new tech. I accidentally bought 2 spools of Palm for very cheap. I have never tried printing Palm, so I have no idea. Give it a shot. Worst that'll happen is it doesn't work and return the other spool. Depends how much you spent on it. Do you think there will be room for high-speed FPGA-based closed-loop servo printers in the market? Yes and no. Here's my issue with closed-loop servos. Yes, there are advantages to having closed-loop, right? You get your feedback, right? The thing is, did that feed right? Yeah, that fed right. Something like the ERCFA closed loop would be great there because then you get feedback. So you know if it has a jam when it tries to switch from one cartridge to another. Something like that where there's outside variables that can affect it. Yes, closed loop there. But on an actual printer, if you have your printer's motors tuned right and you're running at the right speeds and feeds that you've calibrated and tested and verified, you really should not be having layer shifts, okay? I can't remember the last time I've had a layer shift on V226 back here. This machine is like dialed into the nines. Like, it is 100% reliable for what I use it for. I can't remember the last time I had a layer shift. So would upgrading to closed loop servos give me any advantage on a system that is already 100% reliable? Because the closed loops that are out there, like the Big Tree Tech has one, you're basically going back to drivers that are the equivalent of like DRVs. You're losing your stealth chop, your spread cycle, your interpolation, your current control. You're losing a lot of that. Does the purge tower lower than the model? I thought it was the same Z height. Vince Stubb, there was an option in the slicer. Let me pull it up here. Multi-material, where is it at? So it's called no sparse layers. So if enabled, the wipe tower will not be printed on layers with no tool changes. On layers with a tool change, extruder will travel downward to print the wipe tower. User is responsible for ensuring there is no collision with the print. So what that means is, you can see here, when it's doing the wipe, you're looking at the screen above me right there, you can see that there's clearance. Oh, we got ourselves a jam. Uno moment. Okay. So that was what tool? What tool do I need? A T1. So it'd be, think of it like when you're printing something sequentially, where you print one object and then you go and print another one after the other instead of printing one layer at a time. If your tool head has room for clearance, you might as well print like this, because you're going to save a lot of time because you're not printing those empty layers essentially. I just got a Hicktop 10 log IDEX on Marketplace for dirt cheap. Seems well engineered. Surprised they aren't more popular. Hicktop IDEX. Hicktop. Let's see what shows up here. One of these dudes. Wow. That's one way of doing zoom on your website. Wow. That is like the jankiest way of doing it. This looks a lot like my what is my IDEX printer? JG Maker something something. Artist D Pro. Seriously? 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 You're not supposed to be in here. You're supposed to be in bed. If I give this to you, you gotta leave, okay? You gotta be in bed. It's bedtime. You can't be in here right now, okay? Shake paw. Okay, you're gonna take it, you're gonna leave, okay? You gotta leave. Okay, go. Go. There's enough drool all over the floor already. Hey. Don't tell Mama I gave you 3 treats tonight. Okay? JG Maker Artist D Pro. Yeah. So it looks a lot like that. Oh, we got a jam. What happened this time? So it is unloading, not unloading right. For home. Okay, so it was trying to unload and it didn't unload. So if I hit resume, hopefully this doesn't screw me up. Okay, no. Shoot, what tool does it want? So I was trying to unload tool 1. And before tool 1 was tool... Shoot. Uh-oh, we have an issue here. What was after tool 1? Black, so we want tool 4, because we're going to be doing white. I think it's white. T4. Let's roll the dice and see if I screw up the print. Okay, resume. There we go. Jesus, what's the... Upstairs. Crazy dog's trying to get in here still. So this is your guys' fault. Carrot feeder seems to like being babysat a bit. It depends. It ran fine for like 6 hours before stream without a single issue. And now it's like, bah. It depends on the filament. It depends on a lot of things. I know he learned he gets treats around this time. He goofed. There we go. I think now it's just switching between black and, or correction, white and pink. When is the Micron giveaway? What Micron giveaway? There's no Micron giveaway. There was a Micron giveaway 2 weeks ago? It's called a... When it retracts the filament, it tempers the tip. It does like, basically, it pushes it in and pulls it out. And it repeats it in a pattern. And that way it actually like cleans up the tip. So that way you don't have that blob. It's estimating the print's gonna be done at around 11:40. So, yeah. There's no Micron giveaway. What? So yeah, stream, we'll run it for another, the stream will leave up for another half hour. We'll do our usual 3-hour stream and then we'll call it. Do you ventilate your enclosures at all for material that produce toxic fumes, or do you just keep them fully enclosed? For like ABS, fully enclosed. That's usually what I do. How is the other print doing? Doing fine. Where can I buy a mini screen adapter? I'm not sure what that is. Mine just plugged right in, but I'm running my switch wire has an SKR 1.4 in it, or 1.3, I can't remember. When will the 2.4 and Stealth Burner updates be released? When they're done. Maybe around the holidays, before, during, or after. Is ABS fumes odorless? No, usually bad ABS smells pretty bad, but good ABS doesn't smell as bad. It really depends on your sensitivity. I'm like not sensitive at all to printer fumes, so like I can be in here printing like Garbo $10 AliExpress ABS and it doesn't affect me. ABS or ASA smells like just like burnt plastic. Well, pretty much what it is. Well, if it smells like burnt plastic, you might be heating it up a little too much. When will the Voron shower be released? Just in time for bikini season. Starting to print ABS for the first time. Everything comes out good except for the bottom layers have kind of a bubbly and feel. Any ideas? Bubbly? Are you on a textured print surface? Make sure your print or your filament's dry. Yeah, ESA and ABS Plus barely smells, yeah. Even the Sparta 3D stuff doesn't smell that bad. Trying to install Clipper. No, the Pi does not need to be hooked up to the printer until you go to flash the controller board or connect to the controller board. Will stealth burner become a... Yes, it will circumvent the current afterburner. In terms of different hardware, if you want to get a jump on hardware, go get some M3 by 50 millimeter screws and a 5015 fan. The rest is all printed parts. At least that's for the cooling portion. Thinking about putting an SKR 1.3 into my Ender 3 V2 because that makes the Ender 3 Pro running just so they run the same firmware. There you go. Any suggestions for the filament for the diffuser on the stealth burner? Well, you shouldn't have one, but something transparent. I'm going to print mine on my resin printer in some semi-transparent resin, actually. But natural ABS or something transparent. Actually, natural ABS is probably the go-to. Transparent ABS isn't really that good. Will Clockwork change it all? There's Clockwork 2 in the works. Watch the latest Voron live. M350. Yeah, you need M350s for, let's go mobile. These screws right here are M350s. Because they go all the way through everything. Oh yeah, and well, that is part of the 2.4 update, like 2.4 R2 or whatever it's gonna be called. Basically, the gantry from Trident. So for those that don't know, the Voron Trident, the gantry, the X gantry is a single MGM12 instead of the dual MGM9. That will be carried into the V2. If you want to get a jump on that, you literally can build a V2.4 and just use the X gantry from the Trident. It drops right in. It's compatible. So that will be that will be added to the baseline, like mainline release in the future. How long do you think? I could put a stealth burner on here right now. It wouldn't affect anything. It's the extruder that has the sensor for the ERCFA. Stealth burner is just the front part. So if you're looking at it, stealth burner is just these two parts right here and the fan shroud and this part. So the sensor is way in here. It's in the extruder part. Stealth burner is literally the cooling is this part and then whatever your mount is. So this is what gets replaced by stealth burner. Okay, this part and this part. Okay. The extruder, that's the part that has your sensor. That either stays the same or goes forward into Clockwork 2 if you want. But right now, like, you can literally put stealth burner on an existing afterburner. It just doesn't look as aesthetically pleasing. Should the BTT TFT50 screen work fine with 2.4 and notice late? I'm using a, is it a 5-inch? I think it's the 5-inch. Yeah, tall boy. This guy right here has a BTT 350 or 500 touchscreen running clipper screen. I'm not 100% sure, Lubble. Existing shroud with Clockwork 2 is an abomination. I've seen the picture. It's an abomination. Honestly, in terms of screens, I like my panel do. I like my panel do running Clipper. Like, it's It's responsive. It has everything you need. I like my panel, dude. Thoughts on the Fatus Dragon hot end for an Ender 3 for ABS? Go for it. It's good hot end. It's all metal. Does it flicker on the right side at startup? It flickers for a second, I think, on startup, but once it's actually on, it's fine. I don't think that's an issue. Where are my tweezers at? Nah, I can't pick that out. How is the Rapido holding up? I haven't actually printed with it other than last week on stream. This whole week is pretty much a write-off for me in terms of 3D printing stuff, but it's fine. I need to print some helmets or something. Screams in pain, but no pain noise comes out. I have no mouth, but I must scream. I am so pissed I screwed up that one transition. Hello, Vincent. Is Clockwork 2 only going to be used with the MGM12? Yes, because Clockwork 2 mounts from the front. So on the current Afterburner toolhead, the screws that mount the extruder portion to the carriage come from the back. Going forward, that's going to be from the front just for ease of assembly, because it's a pain to get at the screws because you have a drag chain in the way. So if you need to take it off for maintenance or whatever. So because of that change, Clockwork 2 is only going to be compatible going forward. But here's the thing, like if your current setup is fine. So for example, I'm running an LGX on V226 right here. Okay. I'm not going to change my carriage or anything because I'm having no issues with the dual MGN 9s. So I'm just going to slap the Stealth Burner cooling portion on and call it a day. Same with this guy. I might go to MGM 12 at that point, but yeah. How fast can you print on the Voron 2.4? Fast. It can outrun any hot end for the most part. Revo, that one has a Revo in it right now. Cooper, I would recommend asking in the help section on the Discord. I probably won't be able to go too in depth right now with it. How good will the mini LGX work with it? Pretty good. I have high hopes for the mini LGX. I'm waiting on it to actually come out. But yeah, like right now. You know, there's your Revo. Hey, it's a Revo. Fortunately, my sock finally disintegrated. The beta units had like really crappy socks and mine finally fell apart, but there's a Revo. It's a beta unit. Probably gonna put it in a shadow box or something actually. How did you join Voron? I have no idea. Actually, let's reminisce. Let's reminisce. So, I got my very first printer in late 2017. It was a Monoprice Select Mini. It was a great printer for 2 weeks, and then I realized, holy crap, this thing is small. I want something bigger. And then what I did was I went on Reddit, and let me pull it up here, reddit.com/r/rep. So I went on Reddit. I went on the rep wrap section, and then of course when you're in a new hobby, you go to the subreddit for it, and you go to search all time, and you go show me what you got, and then where is the post? This right here. This was posted May 20th, 2015, but it's one of the top posts on our rep wrap. The last 7 months of my free time, the Voron. Say hello to the very first Voron. Wow, look at that direct drive weight extruder. Yeah. So, oh, I got a jam. So that looked really cool. I ended up going to the Voron Discord. Oh, bugger off. One thing led to another. There was a Slack group at the time. Ended up building a... So I was looking at a bunch of different printers to build myself. I was looking at a fuse box. Fuse box. A Hypercube Evo. But the Voron just looked the cleanest. And then go into the Voron Discord, which led to the Voron Slack at the time. And then... yeah. Let me see here. T4. Yeah, that's feeding. And then back when I built it, it was V1100 is what it got serialed as. And back then the community was a lot smaller. Oop. Oh, resume, not resumed. And I was in the Slack, I built my V1. I was apparently cool enough that I got invited to the team because it was a lot smaller back then. What would be the budget? Depends which one you want to build. There's like 6 different Vorons. So, yeah. I've been around long enough when it was easy to get on the team. Now it's like you gotta... like the 2 most recent additions to the team are the guy who created the Enraged Rabbit carrot feeder and the Voron Micron guy. The V0 Micron or whatever it's called. Like, you don't join the team, you get invited to join the team. Tinkerbear, 20 Canadian, thank you, appreciate it. Your videos helped me build my 2.4, that's awesome to hear. And continue to be great, keep it up, thank you. I'm glad the videos help, that's why I do them. But yeah, if you want to join the Voron team, don't ask. Just do cool shit in the Discord, because that's where most of us hang out. And
keep it up.
If it's cool, we'll notice you, and you might get an invite. That's kind of how it works. Should make a video on the pros and... I'm gonna... So this month... So for those that don't know, this month, me and many other 3D printer related content creators are doing a thing where for every 1,000 views, we're giving $1 to charity of E3D's choosing in honor of Sanjay. So this month, I'm hoping to put out a bunch of videos. They're not all going to be like really in-depth videos like tutorial videos. It's going to be like, I'm going to sit down and just talk about Vorons in a video, for example. Because, you know, the more views, the more money we can donate. So this month, I'm hoping to put out a whole bunch of videos. Not all of them will be crazy in depth. Some will just be kind of, you know, hey, let's just sit down and talk for 10 minutes in front of the camera and edit it. So yes, one of the videos I do want to do is, so you want to build a Voron, where I go through the different models and the pros and cons of each one. So, but if you go on, let me see here, Voron Design. Go on vorondesign.com, go to documentation, about Voron, choosing a printer. And this is basically like short notes about every printer and the extruders and whatnot. What would be a decent budget for V2.4? Did I lose my camera? Oh no, it's pointing at the ground. So for a 2.4, if you have tools and you have everything already, I would budget anywhere from $1,000 to $1,500. Who edits my videos? I do. That's why the editing is not that good. Well, we're done the MMU portion, so now we just let the print finish. Yep, I edit them. I use DaVinci Resolve Studio. I paid for it. I got the little deck that came with it. Yeah. Is there a brand or type of spring steel? I'm running mostly either no name, self-made, or the one on Switchwire is a LDO one. Same with my V01 is LDO. My V2 Tallboy is a energetic. The Trident and V226 are homemade spring steel sheets. So they're just like generic spring steel that I stuck a PI sheet on it. Will I build a legacy? I want to, but we'll see. It's down the list right now. Trident is my next build. JC, they did not disclose and they asked not to speculate, so just leave it at that. What province? I'm in Ontario. What is this tallest I can get away if I want to do a tall boy? Tall boy is 400 millimeters on the Z. That's about as big as I would go on a V2. Like if you want a size comparison. So just to put in comparison, like deltas. This is 260 of Z. This is 380 of functional Z. Technically, it's I could go to 400, but the belts and everything get crushed. So this is 380 millimeters of Z. This is 260 of Z. And this is about 6 inches taller. So, yeah. Deltas do not do Z. Should have gotten one of those Princess Auto Dremel. Let me find, where's my Twitter? So in Princess Auto right now, they have 3D printers. And at first I'm like, oh, that'll make a good video. I'll go grab a 3D printer at Princess Auto. Yeah. So they sell their filament, and these are 750 gram spools. So they're 3/4 of a kilogram for $39.99, and then the Dremel 3D Idea Builder is $9.99.99. $99.99.99. Yeah, no. This is like, it doesn't even have a heated bed. Which, by the way, if you're not following me on Twitter, at 3DP Nero, make sure you're following me. And for my fellow Canucks, who knows the 99.99.99 reference? Canadian Tire used to have them like 3 years ago for the same price. What XLs am I running on which machine? On this one? This machine, by the way, my switch wire, I'm running stock Prusa in terms of slicer speeds. So right now, like literally this profile on switch wire, on my V0 for speeds and feeds, I'm running these. So screenshot that for speeds and feeds, okay? But on switch wire, I'm running literally a stock Prusa Mark III profile. So there's my speeds and feeds. Super Vehicle got it. An Ender 3 Pro for $99.99. Ugh. Here's the thing. The Ender 3 V2 is better. The Ender 3 Pro is an upgraded Ender 3 V1. The Ender 3 V2 is the V2. Mic the TV, exactly. You know what? We're going to let this print finish. It's almost done. Oh, I could bump the speeds up. I'm just lazy. It's a multi-material printer. It's not going to go fast anyways. What are the best settings? Whatever the profile, stock profiles are. I haven't played around with Ender 3 V2 settings a lot, considering mine's in pieces. When do I retune my belts? Usually I'll build a printer. I'll snug the belts up. I'll run the printer for like a week or so. And then I'll snug the belts up again after that. Then I do my input shaper tuning. Because honestly, I know it's kind of like what's the word for this? Kind of like a tribal knowledge thing. It's like you have to let the printer break in before you do your final tune. So what I do when I build a printer in terms of my order of operations, okay? I build the printer. I make sure my XYZ home works, you know, my gantry leveling or bed mesh, that's all works. I calibrate my extruder steps. And then what I do after that point, I print something. And then I print another thing. And then I print a bunch of random stuff, okay? And then after the printer is broken in and I know, you know, nothing's gonna fall apart on me, I didn't forget a bearing or I didn't forget a screw somewhere and everything's good and it's reliable and it's good. I don't need to adjust motor currents or anything like that. Then I do my pressure advance, or correction, then I do my input shaper tuning, then I do my pressure advance tuning. Because if you do input shaper, you need to redo your pressure advance. Faulty Giant, thank you for coming a member. Do I have any cheap Chinese printer kits besides the FL Sun? Are you talking about like the Super Racer? I do have an Ender 3. I do have a Mingda Magician in the other room, and I do have a JG Maker Aurora Artist D Pro in the other room. Those are the other room. By the other room, I mean it's on a shelf collecting dust. I literally don't have room for more functional printers. If I can only have one, this one right here. This 250 millimeter spec V2.4. Take care, Vince. It's 330. Oh, is it 260 on the XY then? Either way. Okay then. 330, 380, and it's still 6 inches shorter. The Artist G is just not that great. No, the oh, print's done. It's a great image. I don't know why I decided to extrude all that. Oh no, the V. Ah, that was on accident. That was on accident. What's up from San Diego? What's up? I gotta move my can't mute button. I gotta, like, this is what I use. I don't have a stream deck. I built this thing and it works good enough. But every now and then, and it's annoying. Okay, yes, so you can use the Enraged Rabbit carrot feeder for single color prints. It would be good because you can load up, like, say you can load up, like, you know, red, green, yellow, blue, colors you use often. And then what you can do is when you throw a print on it, you can just select which color you want. It'll load that color, and then it's just direct feed for the whole print. Okay, let's get this guy off the bed. Clean off that little bits of black. Where did I put my tweezers? Every now and then I can't speak Mandarin. Make me load up the Google Translate. I'm not going to be able to find it yet. Okay. If Nero doesn't mute himself at least once per stream, you know he's being held captive and we're to send help immediately. No, usually when I hit mute on purpose, it's for comedic effect. So yeah. So there's Patrick. So other than the stupid one band of pink, that honestly I'll take a picture of it in Photoshop out. And it looks like we had a little bit of under extrusion near the top here. But got ourselves a Patrick. As a wise sage once said, I can dig it. Ooh, I'm out of focus.
What's your print _ start macro on 2.4?
Tagly 2345, 5 Canadian. Thank you, appreciate it. What is my print start macro on the 2.4? I will show you right now. System, printer config, edit. All the way down, cancel print. So there's a G-code macro for G32, and then here's my print start macro. So right there, if you want to screen capture it, there you go. It basically heats it up to like 180, does like the whole level and everything, and then it does a purge line. Check to see if the BMG drive on the pink filament has enough pressure. Actually, I think this under extrusion layer was, I forgot to lock it after doing a filament change. That might have been it. How long was the total print time? The total print time was 12 hours. Yep, it was a 12-hour print. So that's the problem with multi-material, is obviously every time it goes to change colors, that's going to eat up a bunch of time. And there's nothing you can do to get around that. It is what it is. So that's the downside with multi-material. And then for the purge block, you know, I don't know if you can see this, the weight. So okay, so Patrick weighs a total of 20 grams. The purge block is 60 grams. Correction, 67 grams. So this weighs three times as much as him. But the thing is, this will always be the same. So if I printed, you know, 5 of these at the same time, this will always be the same amount. So. And that's the downside with multi-material. You waste. You have to purge. That is the downside with any single nozzle setup for multi-material. Is IDEX faster? I believe it would be, but IDEX gets pricey. So this is a 6 extruder setup. Okay, so I can do 6 colors at once. Which off-the-shelf machine does 6? The Prusa XL is 5. The E3D tool changer, I believe, is also 5. Or is it 6? No, it's only 4. Yeah, the tool changers, the E3D tool changer is only 4. So if you want to do beyond 5, you pretty much have to use something like this. Like the thing with the Enraged Rabbit, you can build it as big as you want. It's open source, and you literally can print as many cartridges as you want. So if you want to do 12 colors, you can do that. Till king seat is done. The thing is, you still have to purge the plastic. The thing is, the king seat will be faster because you don't have to actually physically print this block, but you're still having to push that plastic through to clear it. So it's still the same amount of material you're wasting, it's just faster. So you can minimize waste by printing multiple of the same object, like, because the purge block will always be consistent. So you have to take all that into account when you print multi-material. Like, for example, the dragon that I printed, so this dragon right here, was 16 grams, okay? Wait. Zero that out. So this dragon was 23 grams, okay? The purge block for it was 99 grams because I had to do a lot more purging in this because there was a lot of layers where you were doing 2 or 3 colors at the same time, or even 4 colors at the same time. So this purge block is solid versus this. So yeah. Did I win the wrong purge block? Oh, sorry, 71 grams versus 63. Yep, wrong purge block. So yeah, so that entire print was a grand total of, for Patrick, 97 grams. Now you can do infill as purge. The thing is there enough infill to fully wipe out? That's the problem. Like if you're going from white to black, you have to purge a lot. Like even on here, you can see the layers where the eyes are. You can still see the white never really is white there because I didn't purge enough. So you have to hope that there's enough infill to purge out the color. So on larger prints, it makes sense, but on something small like this, you're still going to have a block probably. How do you create multi-part files? Usually you download them. You would have to design it as multi-part, or you can paint it. in Prusa Slicer 2.4 beta, you can actually paint different extruders. So kind of like how you have paint on support, you can paint on different extruders. From any color to white is a lot of, yes, yes it is. So yeah, it's Patrick. So I'm gonna end the stream there, guys, I think. It is 11:07. I'm gonna go eat some leftover KFC and go to bed. So hope you enjoyed the stream tonight. Hopefully I'll have the kit next week. If not, we'll figure out something to do. If your budget's tight, go with whatever one within your budget then, Alex. No, ERCFA I would say is color only. If the problem with single nozzle is if you're trying to do a soluble material, you're going to still get cross contamination. You want tool changer or IDEX for multiple material printing. KB3D, $10 before you go. Thank you, appreciate it. So yeah, so I'm going to end the stream here, guys. Enjoy the rest of your weekend. Be safe out there. Wash your hands. See you next week. Cheers. Be sure to drink your Ovaltine.